Today we are going to talk about information goods in the context of the music industry. Before we start, let's define information goods. According to Shapiro, information goods are goods whose market value comes from the information they enclose. To get a better grasp of music with regard to the information goods topic, let's look at how the related industry has been disrupted. The music industry has been subject to many changes over its existence, mainly considering the way it can be accessed or stored. Before the invention and adoption of sound recording, those interested in listening to music could either attend a live show or buy music sheets in order to play it themselves.
Very good, Majesty.
In the early 20th century, the development of sound recording functioned as a disruptive technology to publish music sheets. Sound recording allowed for music to be stored by means of vinyls or LPs. It granted access to music for a much larger audience. Later on, the onset of widespread radio broadcasting, starting in the 1920s, forever changed the way music was listened to, since people would not need to own multiple recordings in order to be able to listen to various types of music. During the second half of the 20th century, the use of cassettes and CDs emerged, which allowed for the portability of music to be listened to on the go. But the majority of the participants in the music industry always fulfilled the same traditional roles. The music industry can be summarized as being comprised of three main actors: content creators, distributors, and end consumers. There are three types of property that are created and sold by the recording industry: compositions, such as songs, pieces, and lyrics; recordings, such as audio and video; and media, such as CDs and DVDs. Traditionally, music CDs would be bought from music retail stores, and portions of the revenue would be separated between the record label, the artists, and other actors involved.
Go big or go home.
For example, the song My Way is owned by its composers Paul Anka and Claude François. Sinatra's My Way recording is owned by Capitol Records, and the millions of CDs and vinyl records are owned by the millions of individual consumers. The entire industry relies on the sale of physical media, performance royalties such as radio and streams, and live concerts. And as a multitude of record labels came and went, many died out as quickly as they had formed. So by the end of the 20th century, the Big Four, EMI, Sony, Warner, and Universal, dominated the industry. The music industry was the first industry to face digitalization, yet it was one of the slowest industries to adapt to it. When music consumption moved from analog to digital, several changes occurred in the industry. Drastic changes in the competitive environment led to traditional physical businesses, such as music retail stores, become redundant. As a result, many brick-and-mortar stores had to close down. Music also saw changes in its cost structure. Digitalization of music allowed for unlimited scalability, since reproduction now involved low to even zero marginal costs. The emergence of Napster in the 2000s, a peer-to-peer network used for sharing and downloading music files, would fundamentally disrupt the music industry, changing the relationship between artists, record companies, retail music stores, and consumers. People would now download copies from their college dorms instead of buying CDs of their favorite artists. As a result, Napster faced fierce lawsuits from recording companies and musicians, such as AM Records and Metallica, allegedly for contributory infringement of copyrights, implying massive loss of sales for their albums. Even though Napster was forced to shut down its service in July 2001, it's credited with shifting consumer behavior towards downloading copies online instead of going to the retail store, and driving the end of the album era, as well as the rise of new digital platforms and business models. The widespread use of distribution of pirated content, in addition to the industry's failure to create alternative platforms, which could provide revenue-capturing alternatives to Napster, caused the industry and its actors dire losses. That is, until streaming came into play. Streaming is a technology used to deliver content, usually audio and video, but increasingly other kinds as well, to computers and mobile devices over the internet. Streaming technology is attributed to saving the music industry from low margins and the widespread pirating of content. With the introduction of streaming-based revenue capturing models, the music industry shifted once again. Spotify, the most well-known streaming platform worldwide boasting over 50 million users, changed the industry by shifting the ownership of goods towards a shared service-based model. This drastically reduced the need for piracy and peer-to-peer services, as new business models offered its users access to millions of songs to choose from. Streaming business models are based on product versioning, offering different configurations of a product and employing different pricing levels to each version. We can cluster Spotify's plans under freemium and premium. Freemium provides users with access to the platform, but with fewer features and with ads. Freemium tends to play on the customer's perceived benefits of the platform and create pain points such as ads, limited selection, and inability to skip songs, all to encourage them to become paid users. Premium, on the other hand, provides its users with added and exclusive features, usually in exchange for a monthly payment. So, what about the future of the music industry? The use of VR will soon become ingrained in the music industry to provide a more visual and immersive experience. Coachella introduced VR in its music performances with the 2012 hologram of Tupac during the Snoop Dogg concert. However, VR will not only be limited to live performances. For instance, Spotify may leverage this trend by introducing VR support to its platform through the bundling of VR goggles in its premium subscription. More advanced use of big data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence will provide better artist discovery and playlist recommendations. This will shift competition from which platform has the most extensive music selection to which offers the best algorithm for music discovery and playlist creation. Experts say that, in this future evolution of music, technology will change the way we sensorially experience music. It will not just be an auditory experience, but will also include more experiences in the sensory spectrum. Who knows, maybe one day in the future, we might even be able to taste music. Thank you for watching.